my name's Amber Morgan. I work in the retail and travel space. Obviously, I love shopping and traveling, but I'm always searching on how to improve that customer experience, which will in turn benefit my experience too. Today, we'll be discussing what the consumer industry could have in store for us in 2021. To help me do that, I'm talking to Joe Dittmar. He's a member of the IBM Industry Academy and spent his entire career in the consumer industry. Hello, Joe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Amber. How are you?
I'm doing good. Excited to talk to you today. To start things off, I want to ask the question that is on everybody's mind. Where do you think the consumer industry is going in 2021?
Well, I think we're going to see a continuation of the trends that we're seeing today. And I don't know about you, but have you been to the mall lately?
No.
The lines are longer than a theme park just to get into a store. So I think if we take that as a leading indicator of what next year is going to bring, we're going to see a lot of the same, a lot of transformation that's going to need to occur in order for retail to happen. And when I think about it, some people say, well, what is post-pandemic? I don't know that we're ever really truly going to be post-pandemic in the sense of everything goes back to the way it was. What I see is an evolution that's going to continue to occur in retail. And it's one that's going to be focused on becoming even more customer centristic. And by that, I mean, not just about the customer from a 360 view of the customer, but truly understanding their needs and being empathetic to how they need to shop and how they are going to procure goods and services in 2021 and beyond. So, maybe I can give you an example of that. When the pandemic hit, we saw a spike in curbside pickup. And that was absolutely some of the world's greatest retailers putting the customer at the heart of their reality. And that really has played out to being the winners in 2021. And curbside pickup from Kroger, from Walmart, from Home Depot and Lowe's. We saw them immediately, and it wasn't high tech, right? There was some low tech involved in that too, like Home Depot's pull up into a spot and dial the phone number that's on the boards looking at you, and then they wheel out your order. Same things with other brands as well, but it was that simplistic empathy, if you will, really putting the customer at the heart of your business that we're seeing translate into performance. Right? Performance at companies like Home Depot, Lowe's, Kroger, all the ones I just mentioned have seen a disproportionate share of revenue and consumer engagement. And I share that because I think in 2021, we're going to see a lot of other retailers catch up to those service levels, specifically, having a better understanding of the digital and physical experience, and better understanding their customer as they travel between the two. Because I don't know about you, I will not go to the mall right now and stand in a line for 30 minutes to buy a gift for Christmas. As much as I love retail, theme park scares me, right? Standing in line for 30 minutes for a 5-minute ride or a 2-minute ride to hurry up and give them my money when I could do it online. And that's where other companies, if I give you a second example, it doesn't have to be, curbside pickup. It could be something as simple as completely enhancing your digital and having a better understanding of who the customer is and engaging them. And that's companies like Abercrombie and Fitch, who have done a phenomenal job of committing to being more personally accountable and personally attentive to their customers' needs digitally through how they engage them. And you can see if you look up in the news and in the stock, you'll see that they've had a spike in their stock performance. It's directly correlated to the performance of their e-commerce and how they were delivering on a hypothesis that they had at the end of last year, which was, we believe digital is going to be more important for us in 2020. And that was before the pandemic was even a thing. So, it's investments like that that are really paying dividends in 2020. And we're going to see more companies adopt that level of personalization and digital and physical experiences in 2021.
So what gaps do you still see that the industry needs to improve on?
So I think the gaps that have always existed still exist. And new technologies are helping us bridge those gaps even better than ever before. When we look at the challenge that we faced for the last 5 years, it's always been data, right? I've got data here and data there, and there's data in the point of sale, there's data in the online system, and everybody's told us, oh, you got to go build a data lake. Before that, it was a data warehouse, and it was always a build something expensive. Well, the truth is there's technologies out there now that allow you to see into different locations where data is stored and where it lives, and pull that data into a view that you can act on. So I can connect to see data about a personal, about an individual, right? An individual person that comes from many different locations. And it might be in the e-commerce, it might be in the order management system, it might be in the ERP, but I can see all of those at the same time and make informed decisions now, which I couldn't make before. I could only see what was available in the click history on e-com, or if they were in the store, I could only see what was in the point of sale system or in the back office that was attached to the point of sale system. So now I can make personalization, experience decisions, and recommendations and next best offers, all without having to build a data lake. So I think that gap exists, and I think retailers and consumer products companies have to adopt new technologies like that. Another one is, I brought it up earlier, it's inventory visibility and order management. And when I say order management, I know everybody in my ERP days will say, oh, but the ERP has the order management. That's not the same kind of order management, guys. I'm not talking about where's my carton, where's my pallet, moving between warehouses, moving from X vendor to NDC, right? I'm not talking about that level of order management. I'm talking about direct to consumer order management, inventory visibility in the real time to a consumer. Because if Joe Dittmar walks into the mall tomorrow, which I did this weekend and ran out of the mall quickly, I want to know where the inventory is. And I will go to a mall and go to the little desk they have set out in front of a store for order pickup and pick up an order. I just don't want to stand in the 30, 40 person line with 6 foot separation that wraps around the whole mall to go into a store to shop. So having inventory visibility down to the SKU level in the store for what you have in the physical store is going to incent a person like me through transparency that there is stuff in that store that I want. And while I don't want to stand in the line to go in it, I will place an order and come there tomorrow and pick it up. And I think when we look at those two areas, specifically, information, data to make personalization decisions, and transparency around inventory, it builds something really important with your consumer, and that is trust. And when we bring trust back into retail, that's where we're going to see revenues increase, margins increase. At the end of the day, when I think about Amazon, I go on Amazon to buy something because I trust it's going to get to me. And it becomes mindless. I don't even think about it anymore when I do it. And it's a shame because there's a lot of great retailers I'd rather spend my money with. But in the heat of the moment, Amazon is just so easy to procure from. And I'm confident that the information's accurate, the inventory's accurate, and I'm going to get what I order. And I think those two areas, the data for personalization and the inventory visibility and order management, I think those two areas can level the playing field for retailers around the world to be more successful in taking wallet share back from Amazon.
Lastly, what's the one thing that you find you're always telling your clients or you're always advising?
Sure. So right now, the one thing, and it kind of sums up our entire conversation, if you are not studying your customer, right, and I mean conducting customer ethnographies, watching them a day in the life. I don't care if you're in B2B or B2C, big or small, it doesn't matter. If you are not understanding and watching how your consumer, your little c customer, engages with you, then you are missing everything. At the end of the day, right now, we have to provide service that helps our end consumer save time. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing to them is their time. Yes, you may have a brand that they idolize and worship, but if it's difficult to procure from you, then they're not going to buy from you. They'll just go find some other place that makes it easy. So understanding your customer, giving your customer the voice that they deserve in how your business operates, truly being outside in, and customer centric, it really is important. And I can't stress enough, customer ethnographies. I can tell you some shocking stories about sitting with the end consumer of some of my clients and seeing what they go through when they're trying to place an order is shocking. And for all of the good intentions of the team members in IT and in the e-commerce team and in the brand management team, you can't imagine some of the things that could go wrong in a checkout. And by sitting with some of your customers and having that focus group and watching them engage your brand, you will have your eyes open to exactly what means something to them. And by focusing on what's the most important part of their experience, you will drive revenue and increase margins as well.
Wow, that's some awesome insights, Joe. Thank you so much for sharing them. If you found this video interesting and want to know more about what we've talked about today, either reach out to me or Joe. Thank you so much for watching, and Joe, thank you for taking the time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Amber.